So our next topic is eicosanoids, which comes under miscellaneous lipids. You can also say it is a sort of derived lipid as well, as we have phospholipids in our cell membrane, which are hydrolyzed by phospholipase A2, and from that phospholipids we get arachidonic acid. This eicosanoids, the name eicosa means 20. It is a 20 carbon atom compound derived from arachidonic acids, and they are further classified under prostaglandins and leukotrienes. So the prostaglandins are the group of compounds which are derived from the arachidonic acid. Originally, the compound was isolated from prostate tissue, hence the name prostaglandin. The prostaglandin is the most potent biologically active substance, abbreviated as PG, and it is also called as a local hormone because of its diverse physiological role. We can see it is this one, arachidonic acid, from which we get the 20 carbon atom prostaglandins. So prostaglandin is derived from arachidonic acid. From arachidonic acid we get 20 carbon atom prostanoic acid having a cyclopentane ring. This cyclopentane ring is saturated, then to which two aliphatic side chain R1 and R2 are attached, a hydroxyl group at carbon 15, a double bond between 13 and 14, and various substituents on the group which will make or on which the further classification of prostaglandins will be given. This is the series 1 prostaglandin. We can see this is a 20 carbon atom compound, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. This is a cyclopentane saturated ring. A double bond is present between 13 and 14 and a hydroxyl group at 15. This is a series 1 prostaglandin. There are series 2 and series 3 as well. So depending upon the substituent group, they are classified as A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I depending upon the substituent group. Subclassified by the number 1, 2, 3 corresponding to the double bonds which are present in the side chain. So series 2 will have two double bond, one will be present between carbon 13 and 14 and a second will be present between carbon 5 and 6. Whereas series 3 will have three double bond, the first one will be present in carbon 13 and 14, then the second one will be from 15 and 16, and the third double bond will be present on 17 and 18. This is series 3 prostaglandin. So series 1 is actually derived from linoleic acid, series 2 from arachidonic acid, and series 3 from eicosapentaenoic acid. Normally, naturally occurring prostaglandins belongs to series 2. So we consider them as they are derived from arachidonic acid. They are not much stored in the body because the phospholipids are present on the cell membrane, and that phospholipid undergoes hydrolysis by phospholipase A2, from which we get arachidonic acid. The synthesis is catalyzed by prostaglandin H synthase. It contains two separate enzymes, cyclooxygenase and peroxidase. So prostaglandin H synthase contains two enzymes, that is cyclooxygenase and peroxidase. and during that the synthesis of prostaglandin G2 and prostaglandin H2 are the intermediates which are found, which are synthesized during the synthesis of prostaglandin. Now there are various specific enzymes which converts prostaglandin H2 to other prostaglandins. Say for example, prostaglandin E, prostaglandin F, prostaglandin G. There are various specific enzymes to convert that prostaglandin H2 to those specific enzyme prostaglandin. There are normally 5 type of prostaglandin which are commonly found in the body, that is PGD2, PGE2, PGF2, PGG2, PGI2 and thromboxane A2. So the membrane bound phospholipid, this is the diagram which shows the synthesis of prostaglandin. So this is a membrane bound phospholipid which is hydrolyzed by phospholipase to give the arachidonic acid, on which the cyclooxygenase will act and will give an intermediate compound, that is prostaglandin G2, upon which the peroxidase will act and another intermediate compound, that is prostaglandin H2, will be synthesized, and depending upon the specific enzyme, for example, if the synthesis of thromboxane is needed, thromboxane synthase will act and the prostaglandin H2 will be getting converted to thromboxane A2. So these are the specific enzymes which converts the prostaglandin H2 to the other prostaglandin, and so on the biological effect will take place depending upon the activation or inactivation of cyclic AMP. So it modulates the action of cyclic AMP with the help of adenyl cyclase. This prostaglandin synthesis is stimulated by catecholamines, that is epinephrine, norepinephrine. It is inhibited by cortisol and thrombin, and the exogenous compound which inhibits the synthesis of prostaglandin is aspirin and indomethacin. So this pathway is very important because it is showing the synthesis of prostaglandins. So as I told you, phospholipase is activated by epinephrine or catecholamines, thrombin and angiotensin 2, bradykinin and vasopressin. Steroid inhibit phospholipase. So it will prevent the release of arachidonic acid from the membrane. Cyclooxygenase is inhibited by the exogenous compound like aspirin, and it is activated by catecholamine. Aspirin acetylates serine at the active site and irreversibly inhibits cyclooxygenase. So it irreversibly inhibits this cyclooxygenase, and therefore it is also called as suicide enzyme, that is self-catalyzed destruction rapidly inactivates the enzyme. So this would prevent the excessive production of prostaglandin. This cyclooxygenase also exists in 2 forms. One is the constitutive form and the another is the inducible form. Constitutive form produces the prostaglandin that mediates the gastric, that mediates the effect on stomach, kidney and the platelet function, whereas the inducible form mediates the inflammatory response. So this is the types of cyclooxygenase. The constitutive form, it is secreted constantly at the low level. So cyclooxygenase 1, the constitutive form, will secrete the prostaglandin constantly at the low level. So they have little bit of housekeeping function. So it will have the function of platelet regulation, kidney function, regulation of acid in the stomach, mucus production. Whereas this cyclooxygenase 2 is an inducible form and it will stimulate the synthesis of prostaglandin only after the inflammatory stimulus. So it is acutely synthesizing high level of prostaglandin during inflammation. So the inflammation will take place and there will be pain, heat and swelling. So both the cyclooxygenases are inhibited by non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, that is NSAIDs. Now, the various prostaglandin synthesized have different types of effect. Therefore, they are called as local hormones as they have different diverse effect. Each of them are having different sort of effect. As we can see, prostaglandin E2 have pro-inflammatory, hyperanalgesic, then vasodilation, natriuretic. PGD2 has allergic reaction. F is responsible for contraction of the uterus, whereas thromboxane is responsible for vasoconstriction, platelet aggregation and bronchoconstriction. Whereas PGI2 definitely have a opposite action as that of thromboxane A2, that is vasodilatation and anti-inflammatory aggregation. Sorry, platelet anti-aggregation. So there may be a MCQ that which one of the prostaglandin have exactly opposite effect as that of thromboxane or PGI2. So that is one of the clicking point, that thromboxane and PGI2 exactly have different or opposite action. And PGD2 is responsible for the allergic reaction. So functions of prostaglandin, as we have seen, it modulates or mediates its action through cyclic AMP. So in many tissues, it acts by regulating the synthesis of cyclic AMP. So PGE increases the synthesis of cyclic AMP whereas in renal tubular cells and in adipose tissues, it decreases the synthesis of cyclic AMP. PGI activates adenyl cyclase and thromboxane A inhibits adenyl cyclase. See, PGI and thromboxane actually have anti-effects and they are doing this effect by the activation and inhibition of adenyl cyclase. So PGI activates adenyl cyclase and thromboxane inhibits adenyl cyclase. Adenyl cyclase is the enzyme which converts AMP to cyclic AMP. So inflammatory response, prostaglandin generates inflammatory response causing pain, edema, swelling and erythema. This we have seen. F2 causes uterine contraction and E2 is involved in relaxation of bronchial muscles. PGE2 promotes aggregation and thus involved in blood clotting, whereas PGI2 inhibits platelet aggregation. Blood pressure regulation, PGE2 is responsible to decrease the blood pressure and body temperature is elevated by the prostaglandin release during the inflammation. It produces fever. The gastric secretion is suppressed by PGE2. So there we can see that there are many actions depending upon the prostaglandin synthesized. So non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs are aspirin, ibuprofen, indomethacin. All these comes under the group of NSAIDs and all these drugs act by inhibiting cyclooxygenase. So therefore the prostaglandins are not formed from arachidonic acid. So how the aspirin acts, that it inhibits cyclooxygenase, so no generation of thromboxane A2, and therefore there will be decreased platelet aggregation, and therefore it is having the anticoagulant property, and therefore it is used in the prevention of heart attacks, as there is blockage in the vessels of the heart, so it has a little bit hypercoagulable state, we could say, and this hypercoagulable state is prevented by giving aspirin to the patient. Paracetamol is comparatively a reversible inhibitor. Steroid will directly act on phospholipase A2, so that arachidonic acid is not at all released from the membrane, whereas NSAIDs act on cyclooxygenase. There is another pathway called as lipooxygenase pathway, which synthesizes leukotrienes from arachidonic acid. Leukotrienes are produced from arachidonic acid, and they are the most potent chemotactic agent. That means these are the agents which causes attraction of the cell at the site of inflammation. And 4 number leukotrienes, 4 Ne4, C4, D4, B4 is given for the presence of double bond in the leukotrienes, 4 double bond in the leukotrienes. They are also called as slow reacting substance of anaphylaxis. So they are responsible for smooth muscle contraction, constriction of bronchioles, and produce vasoconstriction. So this slow reacting substance of anaphylaxis is also responsible for hypersensitivity reaction such as asthma. So we give some inhibitors for leukotriene if we wanted to control the attacks of asthma. This is the pathway which shows the synthesis of leukotrienes. The intermediate compound is 5-HPETE, from which the leukotriene A4 is synthesized, and by further specific conversions the further leukotrienes are formed. The difference between prostacyclin and thromboxane is given. The prostacyclin, that is PGI2, and thromboxane, structure wise prostacyclin has a cyclopentan ring, whereas thromboxane has an oxane ring. Site of formation is endothelium. Thromboxane is synthesized in the platelet. Cyclic AMP is increased by prostacyclin, whereas thromboxane decreases cyclic AMP. This PGI2 inhibits platelet aggregation, and thromboxane A2 enhances platelet aggregation. Blood vessels are undergo dilatation under the presence of prostaglandin I2, and blood vessels undergo constriction by thromboxane A2. The same is with the bronchioles. There is relaxation in the presence of prostacyclins, whereas constriction in the case of thromboxane A2. So there are different action and opposite actions of various types of prostaglandin. This is how prostaglandin attains the diverse function in our body, and they are very important from exam point of view. This one chapter was newly added in your syllabus as prostaglandin metabolism. It is very important from MCQ point of view, because specific action of prostaglandin will be asked in the MCQ.